I think it was good to work with the coach because I got many different ideas from the coaches as far as resources and technology to use in the classroom. It was also nice to have another teacher in the language arts classroom for conferencing because then we could reach, double the amount of kids in the same amount of time with both of us in there.
Students.
So we were working a lot with workshop stations, and I think it helped us to differentiate a little bit more because we could group the students by their ability level, and then we could work with the lower groups on something different than maybe the higher groups were getting. I also think the stations were engaging. The kids were really excited when it was time for stations, so moving from one place to another was fun for them. I think the stations also encouraged them to be independent and responsible. I think that's a big skill for 5th graders, so when they were at a station without a teacher, they had to be responsible for their own learning, and that was a big thing for them.
Yeah, I agree with you because it described and gave feelings and it was good. It's really nice having the workshops because we're working with other teachers like Mrs. Fearbach and Mrs. Ebling and Mrs. Duff, and we're working on like sentence fragments and run-on sentences, and it helps me improve on.
I would say we got a 4 because he explained like everything you wanted. So like everything you wanted, you had a paragraph about it.
Sometimes like I don't have complete sentences sometimes in my story, so I have to fix those. And that helped me a lot to know how to do that.
Cycle in your teaching.
Yes, I plan to use a couple of them. I plan to use workshop centers once or twice a week in the classroom because I think that was a really good practice. I also plan to evaluate strong and weak pieces as examples for the kids because I think showing them a strong example versus a weak example really helped them to see what they needed to do in their writing. And then we used forms to evaluate the strong and weak examples. So they used the rubric, and then we showed the graph from the form so they could see what the other students rated the piece, and that was a really good visual for them.